Welcome to the SEAT77 Sports Desk. As always, I am Dave Dabbah, and I want to talk sports with you. North America, we are coming to you today from the super plush, lavish Silicon Valley studios here of SEAT77. Oh my gosh, Producer Buck, have we got a fantastic show for everybody today. We have week 2 of the National Football League season. We are super excited. Here's what we have. Here is this afternoon's rundown. We have America's team playing in what Fox calls America's game. Johnny Football looks good. So good that the city of Cleveland actually thinks they won a Super Bowl. Tom Brady looks better than he did 4 years ago. The 49ers went from contenders to pretenders overnight. And we cover the rest of the National Football League. All of that and more on today's super big SEAT77 show. But this afternoon we begin with what Fox calls America's game. Yes, once a week Fox gives us America's game. And yesterday's America's game was the Dallas Cowboys sliding into Philadelphia to play Chip Kelly's Eagles. The Cowboys went on to win 20-10, but it was a costly game for the Cowboys as Tony Romo went down yet again and is going to be out 8 to 10 weeks. It was a really, really tough game to watch. I'm not sure if any of you had a chance to check out the game. I sat through some of it in between, our kids' baseball games. Okay, here's what we did yesterday. We had one softball game, we had one baseball game, and we had 2 CYO basketball tryouts. It was a busy day here at the big household. So Troy Aikman yesterday, towards the end of the game, and he was talking about the football game, and he said, and I quote, "This was a terrible game to watch." So I want to know, why did America watch? Here was this game that was just horrific, just terrible, and yet it pulled in huge ratings, 17.8 ratings for yesterday's game. Now compare that to the Sunday Night Football game on NBC, which pitted Aaron Rodgers at home against Russell Wilson and the low-flying Seattle Seahawks. That game brought in a 16.3 rating. 16.3 for the Sunday night game. Now apparently, some of you tuned in to watch Andy Samberg's horrific opening monologue at the Emmys last night. I'm going to have to go back and watch that, Producer Buck, because I really am not sure exactly what Andy was trying to do. So anyways, back to the game. It was just terrible. Now, here are some interesting stats from yesterday's America's game. Sam Bradford just looks terrible in that offense. His QB rating wasn't 105. Nope. It wasn't 95. It wasn't 75. It wasn't 55. It wasn't 35. Sam Bradford, who Chip Kelly traded the world away for, brought in a 5 QB rating. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, I can count it on one hand. Sam Bradford's QB rating against the Cowboys was a 5 yesterday. Once again, Romo is going to be out for 8 to 10 weeks. And one other interesting note from that horrific game yesterday, 26 QBs ran for more yards yesterday than DeMarco Murray did. Okay, I can do some elementary math now. I'm going to count the number of yards DeMarco Murray rushed for yesterday in America's game. 1, 2. That's it. 2 yards. DeMarco Murray, last year's rushing champion, who rushed for 1,800 yards, over 1,800 yards last year. 1, 2. There you go. 26 QBs in the National Football League yesterday rushed for more yards than DeMarco Murray did. Look, Chip Kelly's a mess. I've said it for a long time. The Nutty Professor is in real trouble in Philadelphia, and it will be really interesting to see. Look, if you can name any of the wide receivers on that team, info@seat77.com. We want to hear from you, North America. Send us an email Tell us who Chip Kelly's team is actually attempting to throw the ball to. We want to hear from you, North America, because we have no idea. Elsewhere around the National Football League yesterday, Johnny Manziel throws for 2 TDs, and they were beautiful bombs. They really will. They really were. I don't know about you. Look, I like Johnny. I want to see him do well. I just think it's just going to be a mess. Even in Cleveland, he's never going to win anything. He's going to have to go someplace else. That being said, it was fantastic to watch these 2 long bombs. The city of Cleveland blew up. They were all over the Twitter universe yesterday. It was like they had actually won the Super Bowl. Okay, now, so Johnny, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Cleveland. Johnny threw a couple passes. He completed a grand total of 8 passes. Okay, that's 8 out of 10 fingers. 8 passes for Johnny Manziel, and the city of Cleveland thinks they won a Super Bowl. It's amazing. Oh, and one other note. You played a rookie QB at home, Cleveland. You're supposed to win that game. Elsewhere around the National Football League. Okay, before we get into this next story. All right, Producer Buck wants me to remind you we are now blowing up. We are on TuneIn Radio, so subscribe to the Big SEAT77 channel on TuneIn Radio today. You will find us there. So the other big game of the day was Tom Brady and the New England Patriots going into Buffalo. Now, earlier in the week, Rex Ryan and several of the players were just poking the bear. When are people going to learn? You can't poke the bear. And the bear is the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. The score ended up a little closer than it actually really was, but the Patriots really did beat up on the Buffalo Bills yesterday. Things got so bad for Rex Ryan in the press conference after the game that he went out and said he was out-coached by Bill Belichick. He went on to say that someday he's actually going to find a way to win one of these games. Think about it, right, Producer Buck? He never won any games when he was the head coach of the New York Jets against the New England Patriots. Like Rex Ryan is like 0-12 against Bill Belichick. It's amazing that they would even attempt to poke the bear. So, Tom Brady, Tommy, only threw for 466 yards. 466 yards. Rex Ryan's a defensive coach, right? 466 yards, 38 for 39, and 3 TDs. Mr. Deflategate himself. Look, I don't know about you. I'm not a huge Patriot fan or anything like that. But after this offseason, I think it would be kind of interesting. It'd be great to watch the New England Patriots actually run the table and win the whole thing. Go undefeated. Shut up the Miami Dolphins and win the whole thing and do away with all this Deflategate nonsense. All right. Info@seat77.com. Tell us what you think, North America. Elsewhere around the National Football League, the San Francisco 49ers went from contenders to pretenders overnight. Jim Tomsula went from a future Super Bowl winning coach to a high school coach overnight. Maybe even a conditioning coach. I mean, the 49ers look terrible. I predicted this on Friday. I was 2-0 in my predictions. I predicted the Vikings would bounce back and win. It was your typical Monday night football hangover. The team that wins on Monday night often has a hangover the next day. Asking the 49ers to go into Pittsburgh and play Mike Tomlin and giving Mike Tomlin a couple extra days of coaching to beat up on the 49ers was a no-win situation. Colin Kaepernick is less than one-dimensional, and once they fall behind, it's all over for the San Francisco 49ers. Kudos to Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers for showing up. Elsewhere around the National Football League, my Minnesota Vikings beat up on Matthew Stafford. Stafford was on his back more than he was standing upright. The Vikes beat up on the Lions yesterday. Atlanta is now 2-0, and the soon-to-be Los Angeles Rams decided to not show up against the Washington Redskins as the mediocre Kirk Cousins, who's about a half as good as Joe Flacco, found a way for the Washington Redskins to win that game. And lastly tonight, the Arizona Cardinals. Bruce Arians is a heck of a football coach. I got to tell you, if they can keep their quarterback healthy throughout the remainder of the season, this is going to be the team to beat in the NFC. The Cardinals look great. I picked David Johnson as a late round draft pick in my fantasy football draft this year. So if you have a chance, pick him up. 108 yards on a kickoff return and one other touchdown. All right, a short show. Super excited about tonight's Monday Night Football game. We want to hear from you, North America. Do us a favor, info at SEAT77.com. Subscribe to the Big Tune In channel. Tell your friends. We are looking forward to tomorrow's show. For the SEAT77 Sports Desk, I am Dave Dabbah. That is producer Buck, reminding you that not all news is real. Some of it is fake. And good luck, North America.